Welcome back to Just Talking Love.
Welcome back, welcome back. Just to remind you that you're listening to Just Talking Love, broadcasting from News Talk 93 FM, right here on the beautiful Warner campus of the University of the West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica. Love is not just for love is a song that we all must learn to sing. Love is a golden ring.
It is indeed. It's more than just that too, because that is a concept that some persons have. My conference, so dubbed Loving Without Limits, speak to there not being a cap on one's love. And the ring we wear is an outward symbol of our love that we share. The circle unbroken ought to, show that this is the love, and it ought not to be unbroken, and that's the love that we ought to be sharing. It is more than just a song. It is more than just a ring that we wear. It's an attitude of the heart, actually, right? And it's supposed to be something that goes beyond, above and beyond. It's for the long haul. It's through challenges. It's through thick and thin. It's in good times and bad times. It is unconditional. So it's not on the basis of what a person does. It's not. He doesn't have to be reciprocal, right? We don't have to always be getting back something in order to love. We should love our spouses unconditionally, and that's the love that God intends that is to be disseminated in marriage, that is to be portrayed in marriage. Hence why I want to talk to people about loving their spouses without any limitations, without holding back on anything.
Yes, of course. The song was intended to bring out the fact that marriage is sacred.
Yes, it is.
It was something created by God.
It's an institution created by God
for the unification of both parties, man and woman.
Man and woman, right.
And by so doing, produce beautiful children.
Right. Hence and propagating the human race.
Exactly. Multiplying for the earth.
Of course, through wonderful sex too.
Right. And it's as though it's not understood that God created sex as a sacred and private gift. We like to elaborate on that.
It's a beautiful and beautiful gift. I tell persons it's a delicious gift that God has given to us as humankind to be expressed, and love ought to be expressed through sex. Sex must never be had without the expression of love.
Right, we'll take this call and we'll take it from that.
Okay.
Good evening, welcome to Just Talking Love.
Hello.
Good evening, welcome to Just Talking Love.
Good evening. I just want to say I'm enjoying your program from ever since.
Uh-huh.
The thing that I enjoy most is just your voice. I love to hear your voice. It's like eating a nice, cool ice cream.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Are you Jamaican?
I don't think we should discuss that in here.
I just love your voice.
You do.
You have a refreshing voice. It's so sweet. I just love to listen to your voice. That's all I do. I just hear your voice. That's all I'm interested in.
Oh, thank you
anyway,
ever so much.
Take care. My name is Miss Dixon.
Okay, and keep listening. Thank you so much, Miss Dixon.
Yes.
And so we go back to the Reverend Colin Dunbar and to continue elaborating on this unique gift of sex that was created by God as a secret and private gift.
It is, and I would that persons would understand that sex is not a physical act only, because we are tripartite human beings. We are body, soul, and spirit, and so when we are involved in a sexual act, then body, soul, and spirit is also involved in that act, and it is meant to glorify God. And therefore, when couples come together, not just to consummate, but I believe a covenant is renewed each time a married couple enters into a sexual relationship. So when my husband and I, and we have been in this relationship for 35 years, when we enter into that kind of relationship and when we enter into our sexual relationship, I believe our covenant is constantly being renewed with each sexual encounter. Our covenant, our love for each other is being renewed.
Thank you so much. And on that note, and those of you who may wish to have a little chat with Reverend Carla Dunbar, or probably to ask her a couple of questions, you're free to call and speak with her. We were just winding up on the fact that sex is created by God as a sacred and a private gift, and you're just winding up in that.
It is. In 1 Corinthians chapter 7, actually, Paul speaks to the matter of because we want to ensure that there's no immorality, that persons do not abuse sex, then every person must have their own wives and husband, and within the context of that relationship there ought not to be any sabotage, there ought not to be any withholding of oneself from the other, but must be given openly, freely, and expressively within the context of marriage, giving yourself to your partner. And so the sex is a very wholesome activity, and it's an experience. Actually, I call it a very delicious experience. Right? It is, and if we are doing it the way that God says, then we're actually bringing glory to God, and God, that's what He wants, and that is purpose for giving us the gift of sex and sexuality. We have what angels do not have, and so that's something that we should treasure. When one gets a gift, you treasure that gift. You don't abuse the gift.
Thank you so much. And let's go to Kenny Dunbar to follow up on that. Mr. Dunbar, your take on that.
Right. Sex is private. It is unique. Two persons coming together, having wonderful, beautiful sex, and it's something that God instituted. And I think all married couples should enjoy their sex.
Thank you so much. And what do you think about? What's your thought on those people who tends to withhold it within the context of marriage?
I think it's a sin. I don't have to think it's a sin. It is stated as a sin, because we are told that we should not deprive or defraud.
Yes.
The word defraud there is used. Hence, it ought not to be. I just think there needs to be a level of understanding on both partners' part, so that we can freely express ourselves. We can give ourselves in love. Myself, I say to persons, when I think about making love with my husband, I'm thinking about how much enjoyment I can bring to him. I never go into the experience for what I can get, but how much I can give, because love really is giving, right? And in giving, then I'm going to be getting, I'm certain, right? So there ought not to be a defrauding, there ought not to be a withholding, unless it is by mutual consent that you both agree that at this particular time you're not going to. But if we don't, then Paul says we're going to be tempted because of our lack of self-control to go outside of the boundaries of our marriage. Therefore, this should be a part, and it should be intentional and purposeful, that sex be embodied in a relationship in a real self-giving way.
In other words, don't take away your
Don't
love.
stay.
You're listening to Just Talking Love, broadcasting from News Talk 93 FM right here on the beautiful Water campus of the University of the West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica. We're about to take a short break. We'll be back with you momentarily.